Hello everybody, Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you, I will admit that it is a much older idea. However, it did get some new cards within the past couple sets that have really helped it out and, in my opinion, boosted its viability a little bit, and that is Mega Ampharos EX from all the way back in Ancient Origins. It has the Excavolt attack, which for 120 base, and you may do 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon and leave it paralyzed, and if you do this, Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. We have ways of mitigating that, and also with the release of a couple new sets, I mean, this thing got some things to really help it out. But just a reminder that if you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, and maybe subscribe. Helps us out a lot and lets us do more for you guys. But anyway, on to the deck. Like I said, we are running two Shaman, and the deck is centered around Mega Ampharos EX. I mean, we have 3 of the Ampharos EX. I mean, it has Sparkling Tail, which, I mean, this attack isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on your opponent's Pokemon, which in a pinch can help out against, like, Regice EX and stuff like that. Or, not EX, just Regice in general. So, I mean, that's kind of a cool attack. But the attack we are focusing on is Excavolt. Does 170, which knocks out some EXs, so you're not always able to take full advantage of the effect. However, with the release of Breakpoint, Fighting Fury Belt has become a lot more popular on different Pokemon here and there. Like, it really just fits into almost every single deck because there are rarely any decks that don't run any basic attackers at all. So we are able to abuse Excavolt a little bit more to get some more damage and leave our opponent paralyzed, giving us another turn to set up stuff on the bench. Additionally, with the Breakthrough, we got the Magnezone with the Magnetic Circuit. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach an electric energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So basically, this way we can just kind of power up Mega Ampharos EX in one turn, or even our Raikou EX, which is our second attacker, has the Shining Body ability. If this Pokemon has any lightning energy attached to it, any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 20, which is phenomenal. Basically just a free hard charm if you have lightning energy attached to it. And then the Thunder Lance, which is basically Keldeo Secret Sword, 50 base plus 20 for each electric energy attached to this Pokemon. And then you have, like, basically the Blastoise Keldeo combo with Magnezone and Raikou. So I mean, that's really awesome. Basically a great way to power up our attackers. We're only running a 2-on-2 line of Magnezone because we don't need a 3-2-3 because none of our Pokemon discard energy with attacks, so you only really need like 1 or 2 turns of being able to just flood a bunch of energy onto our Pokemon. So that's why we're running a smaller line. Then we're also running a 1-1 line of Remoraid and Octillery, really just for kind of consistent drawing and stuff like that. I mean, it's not always needed, but it can be helpful at times. On to the items, we are running 2 Level Ball to get Magnemite, Magneton, and then even the Remoraid or Octillery if we need it. 1 Rare Candy for the Magnemite line. 1 Super Rod to get some stuff back if we have to discard it, which is usually what happens. 1 Switch because we do have some kind of heavy Pokemon that you don't want stuck active, so you have Switch to just get them out of dodge. 4 Ultra Ball to get really everything out. 4 VS Seeker to be able to reuse our supporters. And here's another card that just came out that really helps this deck out a lot. And this is Clement. Search your deck for up to 4 lightning energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterward. If you have a Magnezone out, this is just, I mean, that's basically a free Excavolt or a free Thunder Lance. I mean, it's just a great card in Generations. It's from Generations, so I mean, it really helps us out. And then Fisherman, I mean, basically Fisherman and Clement do the same thing, except Clement's from the deck, Fisherman is from the discard pile, so both of those have great synergy with Magnezone. 1 Lysander just to bring some stuff out. I mean, Lysander's a great card that fits into any deck, and you almost always want to run a Lysander. I can't think of a single deck where you wouldn't run Lysander. 3-3 of Birch and Sycamore. I'm running a few more Birch in this deck just because we do have Octillery to mitigate the chance that we get Tails. 1 Fan Service just to get a Ampharos, Spirit Link, or something like that if we need it. 3 Rough Seas to heal the damage off that we do to ourselves with Excavult, 3 Ampharos Spirit Links because we're only running 3 Ampharos, 1 Assault Vest, really just to make, really this is specifically for Raikou and for the Night March matchup. Basically, Raikou effectively turns into a 180 HP Pokemon against Night March if you have Electric Energy on it and an Assault Vest. So I mean, that's really what we're going for there with Raikou. 1 Float Stone, just because, I mean, like I said, we have a bunch of heavy Pokemon, and you can't always rely on Switch because we're only running 1. You could run 2, but I prefer the reliability of Float Stone. Granted, it can be startling Megaphoned away, but then again, your opponent can also item lock you to where Switch isn't useful, so that's why I'm going with the Float Stone right there. And then 11 Lightning Energy, because, I mean, you don't necessarily want to run that many DCEs. I mean, in my first build of this deck, I had a couple because Excavult does require 1. However, with the release of Clement in Generations, I decided that screw the DCE, I'm going straight Lightning Energy to just be able to power up Ampharos EX immediately, just to get a bunch of Lightning Energy out and power it up. So, I mean, Ampharos EX is kind of old. It's not the most competitive, but it definitely got some cards recently that really helps it out and makes it a lot more viable. So I believe that is it. I am done rambling, and let's just go ahead and see this deck in action. Alrighty, we have found one against a Gilgamesh King with a Dragon, Psychic, and Normal deck. So I mean, it's probably a Noivern and Gengar deck. That would be my guess. We do win the coin flip, so we do get to go first. That is fantastic. Yes, please. Hopefully we start off with something that we can work with and not a Shaman. There's nothing that we can work with, so that's unfortunate because my opponent will be able to draw a card, but shouldn't be the biggest deal in the world if we can start with something good. I mean, really, there's no necessarily bad starters. I changed my mind. This is a bad starter. You don't want to start with Remoraid. That's unfortunate. I will probably just Ultra Ball for an Ampharos and play the Ampharos Spirit Link. Okay, so it's a Reshiram, so let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away Lightning and Clement. I do have a VS Seeker to use that later. Let's go ahead and grab an Ampharos. Go ahead and play this down, play the energy onto it. Probably play the energy onto the Remoraid, I would think, and then just go for a Sycamore to draw my hand back out. We even get a... Okay, we get something that we can definitely work with. I'm going to go ahead and, I think, Ampharos again onto the bench. Let's just go ahead and retreat into this Ampharos, and I think I'm going to end my turn there. What I can do next turn is Skyla for a rare candy, and then actually, depending on what I'm able to get off of Remoraid, I might be able to... Oh wait, never mind. I would have to use 2 supporters in a turn, and that is not a thing that you are allowed to do. So, my opponent hopefully won't be able to set up too ridiculously quickly, so I kind of have to bank on that. Fingers crossed, anyway. So we do see a Hydreigon. This really doesn't tell me what type of deck this is. This could be... I'm not sure. I mean, it's obviously a dragon deck, but I'm not sure what dragon it is centered around, because, I mean, all we've seen so far is really support Pokemon, and what I'm probably going to be able to see here is... Okay, so it's a Giratina deck. Well, guess what? We don't run any... whatchamacallits, we don't run any stadiums, or not stadiums, of course we run stadiums. We don't run any special energy in this deck, so the lock won't be as bad as it could be, and my opponent just completely loads up his bench. So I mean, if I had that Raichu that does 50 damage to each EX, that'd be phenomenal in this deck. So my opponent actually will probably be able to Chaos Wheel next turn, as he does just grab a Judge. That's unfortunate because we had a pretty solid hand, actually. We will have to get rid of all of those, so sad time for us. Hopefully we can get something. No, we actually get absolutely nothing off of that. Wow. We get a Skyla, so I guess that's something. Attach as many electric cards as you... Okay, so what I can do actually is go ahead and Skyla to grab an Ultra Ball, and then I will go for a Shaman more than likely, I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the Assault Vest. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of the assault vest and that. Grab a... I think I'm going to go ahead and grab... Actually, you know what? I'll get the artillery, save the shaman for later, play this down here. Go ahead and play the Raikou there, play the energy onto the active Ampharos. Please attach. Please attach. Come on. Come on, Showdown. You can do it, Showdown. Or not Showdown. Wow. What am I saying? What is TCGO doing? I mean, it's just sitting there with the energy on the Ampharos. I don't know what is going on right now. TCGO, it just, yeah. Alright, let's go for the Abyssal Hand. Hopefully it won't take 20 minutes to do this. I guess we get something that we can definitely work with. Let's go ahead and level ball to grab a Magneton. Go ahead and play this onto the Magnemite. And I think this turn I am just going to Thunder Rod, and nope, we don't get anything. So, unfortunate there. We will be able to power up a Mega Ampharos next turn, hopefully. Yeah, we do see the Muscle Band onto the Giratina. That's going to hurt. If my... Okay, so it's like just a pure Dragon deck. That's kind of cool, actually. Okay, we do see the Skyfield, so my opponent will have free retreat with his Reshiram. Giratina will be able to hit us for 100, but hopefully we will have enough cards to be able to knock him out next turn. And unfortunately, there are 4 electric energy in the discard pile. If I can get a Fisherman off of something this turn. So we do see the Turbo Blaze get another energy onto the Giratina, so he will just retreat and go for the Chaos Wheel this turn. It's going to do 120. Yep, that will do a good amount of damage to us. We do see a Super Rod, so what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Rough Seas and the Sycamore to grab a Mega Ampharos. That's actually very unfortunate because Giratina is immune to attacks from Mega Pokemon, so that's something we have to actually kind of worry about at this point. Let's just Super Rod back in energy to try to get that. So what I am going to do is go ahead and play this right there, go for the Abyssal Hand, and yeah, we do get a switch. We get a VS Seeker. What I can do is go ahead and switch into my Raikou. I think he will be able to... Let's see, what is Chaos Wheel? Okay, so what I think I'm actually going to do is switch into Raikou. Go ahead and play the other Magnemite down. Go for the VS Seeker to grab the Clement. And then just get a bunch of 2, 3, 4. Get a bunch of energy, and then Magnetic Circuit onto the Raikou to do actually 130, so that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna go for 1, go for 2 onto this, go for 3, and then I think I'm going to... Do I want to load up the Raikou entirely? I'm not sure. I think I want to keep the Ampharos, give the Ampharos a shot, so let's go ahead and go on to the Ampharos and then just go for a Thunder Lance this turn for 110 damage. It will be a 2-hit knockout, and let's hope that something that we can kind of stall for a turn or something. Raikou can start knocking out all of his EXs except for Hydreigon. Actually, Raikou could potentially... I'm trying to think here what's my best option. Probably just Birch's Observations, because I mean I do have a Lysander in hand, which is very, very tempting to use. But what I am probably just going to do is Raikou, stick with Raikou, go for the Birch's Observations, try to draw a little bit more, get another Ampharos powered up in the back. If he goes for a Chaos Wheel, I won't be able to use Tools, so that's unfortunate there because we will have to worry about the, whatchamacallit, yeah. Okay, so he gets a 0-Sick. I mean, he attaches to the Hydreigon on the bench, goes for a Hex Maniac, so that is... Oh man, that will actually allow him to knock out my Raikou, which is a huge problem. So, wow, that was a really, really great play by my opponent right there. Let's just go ahead and go into the Magnemite. What I might have to do this turn is actually Lysander in the Hoopa to try to buy myself a turn. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think that's all I can do this turn. So let's just kind of cross our fingers that my opponent isn't able to switch out. He'll have to use a DCE for that, and that Hex Maniac actually came through really, really clutch for him. So that's interesting that he would play it when I have a Mega Ampharos that could have knocked out Giratina that next turn. But then again, I mean, actually that's what I should have done. Oh, I didn't think that through. Okay, I messed up there. I should have abused Hex Maniac to knock out the Giratina with my Mega Ampharos that turn. So, little mistake on my part. Let's go ahead. We do get the Ampharos Spirit Link, so that's pretty nice, to say the least. What I can do is go ahead and... Do I want to Clement again? I think... No, I don't think I do. I think I want to go ahead and VS Seeker for a Sycamore, and then draw until I have 7 cards in my hand. Get a Rare Candy and a Raikou. That's actually exactly what I wanted to see, because I can play this onto the... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and Magnetic Circuit onto the Raikou. I think my Lysander is in my discard pile, so I can use that next turn if I need to. And we are in an okay position, I think. So it's just Abyssal Hand, get another Ampharos, don't really need it, and we'll just end the turn there. What I am going to do next turn is Fisherman to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 4 energy in my discard pile. That is very, very nice. What I do think I'm going to do this turn is just... Ooh, that was rough. That was a rough escape rope that my opponent had. So I think I'm just going to... I think I'm just going to offer up the Octillery, because I don't necessarily need it at this point, just because my opponent will be able to immediately KO it. And I'm just offering up Octillery. I don't need the draw support anymore. We even see the Lysander. Oh, wow. So he's just going to get rid of the Magnezone, or not completely. He's just going to do 120 to it. So that's a little bit worse, actually. Although what I can immediately do is go for, I think, a... Let's go for a Fisherman, because I want to keep the energy back in my deck, get 4 of these, go ahead and I'm actually going to Magnetic Circuit onto the Magnezone a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that. Yes, do that. That way I can Thunder Blast next turn, go ahead and power up 1 onto the Ampharos, and then I am going to go ahead and Thunder Blast. I'll have to discard an energy, but it gets rid of the Giratina, and all I have to do is get another Magnezone, because I have the Rare Candy in hand. So what I could potentially do is just Skyla for an Ultra Ball to grab the other Magnezone. So we're in a decent position, actually. My opponent will be able to knock out the Magnezone with a Shred, but I can just immediately go into my Mega Ampharos and Excavate it. It won't knock it out, but it will leave it paralyzed. Okay, so that's what we see there. My opponent just Sycamore is going to try to get some more cards, but I think we are actually in a position where we will have the win. Unfortunately, Ampharos hasn't been able to attack this match at all, so that is a bit unfortunate there. My opponent even gets a switch, so he is just going to Turbo Blaze onto the Giratina, switch into the Hydreigon, and just Shred. He even has the switch to get out of the lock that I will have on the paralysis lock that I will have on him. So that's just kind of a bummer right there. I even get the Ultra Ball, so I don't have to worry about it. Get rid of the Birch and the Mega Ampharos to grab the Magnezone. Let's go ahead and do that. Rare Candy up the Magnemite, and then go ahead and go for the Magnetic Circuit, get this onto the Ampharos, and I think I'm just going to Abyssal Hand this turn. Yes. Okay, so we have that. We even have the Shaman. I think I kind of want to take a couple prizes because he will go into Hydreigon this turn. So he will go into Giratina this turn. So what I am going to do is go ahead and Lysander in I think one of the Shamans probably. Yeah, just get a knockout this turn. Try to get some more energy in my hand. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That way if Magnezone gets Lysandered out, we're still in an okay position. And then let's go ahead and Magnetic Circuit this onto the Raikou. Get the Float Stone onto the... probably the Magnezone. Or I'll just, yeah, Magnezone. And then let's just get 2 prizes this turn with the Excavalt. No, I do not. It doesn't really matter. Just hit the Shaman for weakness, and then take 2 more prizes. I do have a Fisherman that I can just use to knock out the Giratina if he decided to bring it out next turn. Which, okay, 1, 2, 3. So, and then once Ampharos goes down, yep, that is just fine. He'll be able to knock out the Mega Ampharos. Not a big deal. He can't even Lysander in the Magnezone. Well, he can, but it won't do much at all. It just Chaos Wheels, knocks out the Ampharos, but I think that will be game because I will be able to knock out the Giratina by going for a Fisherman this turn. Let's go ahead and play the VS Seeker to grab a Fisherman, and then power up the Raikou completely. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Let's just go ahead and Magnetic Circuit. Get 1 onto... Yes, please. Okay, come on. 1 onto there. Get another onto the Raikou. Just power up the Raikou completely. That way Thunderlance will be an OHKO on the Giratina. And I'm pretty sure... No! I didn't want to end my turn. No! Oh, no. This is bad. This is really, really bad. I did not mean to do that at all. I was trying to click done using Magnetic Circuit. I was not trying to click end turn. Oh, that is devastating. I think that might be game. If my opponent gets a VS Seeker for a Hex Maniac or something, that's... Oh, that was horrible. That was really, really horrible. Yeah, that was bad. I can't believe... I was trying to click done with Magnetic Circuit. I mean, we would have been able to knock out with the Thunderlance that turn. Man, I don't... this is horrible. He'll be able to power up the Reshiram, I guess, but... Oh boy. He might... How many VS Seekers have I used? 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, I've used all 4. Oh boy. So I think I just have to hit the Reshiram. I don't... Like, that was a complete misclick just because yeah, he Lysanders in the Mega Ampharos, and I think that's going to be game. I don't have the switch anymore. You can see the Turbo Blaze, and oh man, that's a horrible way to lose it, but I don't know. I just kind of blame TCGO for this. So he will be able to knock out this Mega Ampharos. Well, he'll be able to hit it, and oh man, that is so frustrating. That is really, really frustrating. I'm just gonna... Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that at all. Yeah, I mean, that's a horrible way to lose it because, I mean, we had the game won, and I was trying to press done, so I mean, that's just... That's horrible. I'm so frustrated that we lost that way because we did have the game completely won, but I was trying to press done with Magnetic Circuit and instead it said end turn. Oh man, that's very frustrating. That's devastating for me, really. I'm very sad about that. But I mean, either way, the deck worked. It just came down to misclicking right at the end, like just clicking end turn instead of thinking I was clicking done with Magnetic Circuit. So, I mean, you see the deck, it worked kind of well. I mean, even against a something that stops Megas, I mean, the deck still worked. It was just a matter of me screwing up that pushed us to the end and my opponent being able to Lysander in something that I couldn't retreat. So, very frustrating, but the deck worked. It was just a matter of the stupid guy who was running the deck. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.